Okay, here we go with another day. Basically what we're going to do today is subnetting in the third octet. And I'm going to leave this kind of a template up, just make stuff go a little bit quicker. It says, what usable or valid host range does the IP address 172.16.48.87/23 belong to? Remember, valid or usable, you cannot assign the network ID address or the broadcast to a host. So all we're looking for is first usable all the way through last usable at this point. Now, a good thing to do on these videos is always pause it, see if you can figure it out, and then we'll go back. Now, I'll drop the chart in here real quick, and we'll just use it for temporary. The /23, remember, I don't care if you're working in the fourth octet or the third octet. Make sure you use these magic numbers. That's just basically how much that octet goes up by at that time. And of course, if it's a /25 through a /30, it's the fourth octet. If it's a /17 through a /24, you're working in the third octet. People say, well, you didn't say anything about the /31 and /32. We're not going to use those for subnetting. Okay, so we've already got this. We can get rid of this. We know we're going up by 2s, okay? And at this point, there is no sense in figuring out going up by 2s because we obviously know that 2 goes up by 2s, goes even, and eventually it will get to 48. So you're going to end up with 172.16.48.0, and we're going to add 2 to it because all we're trying to do is figure out this range, all right? And we're going to go .2 because that's the third octet, .0, and we're obviously at 172.16.50.0. Now we have our 2 network IDs, the only ones we're going to need at this point. We're going to start at .48.0. Keep this inside. .50 is going to be outside, so .50.0. Now we've got a starting range, so we know that the network ID is obviously going to be 172.16.48.0. Please remember, anytime you're in that third octet, the entire fourth octet becomes available. So 172.16.48.1 is your next one, okay? That's your first usable. Always go down and do the broadcast. It makes it a little bit easier. We look at the next network ID, it's .50.0. We got to roll it back one because we can't go over into it. So we're going to go .59.255. Let's go ahead and put everything in there, just make it a little bit easier. So .49.255, and too many 5s, we'll stop right there. And the last usable has to be one less than the broadcast. So we're going to go 172.16.49.254. You now have your usable range, okay, or your valid. It's 172.16.48.1 through 172.16.49.254. That is your answer for this particular problem. We will now move on to problem number 2. All right, problem number 2. What is the broadcast address for the network 172.16.156.0/22? Now, they already told you the network ID. That's that IP address, okay? This one's going to be a little bit quicker to figure out. Always good to pause the video right here, see if you can figure it out, then come back. So what I'm going to do is drop the chart in again. This chart is very important to understand. We're working in the third octet. We want to use these numbers in yellow. So you come over here and you look at /22. It goes up by 4. We don't need that anymore. We are done. Okay? So we already realize, hey, we are going to use 172.16.156.0. And we go up by 4. So when you go up by 4, it's in the third octet, so .4.0. And obviously, that's going to make it fairly simple. And I kind of put this dot here, which I really didn't need. But we're going to go here. It's going to be 172.16.160 is 4 higher than 156.0. I think you guys can kind of figure out that the broadcast is one less than the next network ID, which is fairly simple. We're going to go 172.16.160. Nope, 159. Remember, you got to roll it back. I'll typically do that in class every now and then to see if somebody will catch me. So there is your broadcast for this particular problem. Of course, your last usable is fairly simple to figure out because what is it? It's 172.16.159.254. And of course, your first usable, we could have went right here and done 172.16.156.1. And right there would have been your problem solved. But all they were looking for at that time was the broadcast. And we have that answer correct. Now on to question 3. Okay, final question for this section. Question 3. What network ID does the IP address 172.22.172.124/23 belong to? Good thing to always pause the recording, see if you can figure it out, and then come back. Now, obviously, I'm going to throw the chart up there again. Again, we're at /23. This is fairly simple. We're going to go up by 2s, okay? In the third octet. Get rid of this, get it out of the way. If you go up by 2s, you should come up with, let's see, we're going to go 172. We're in 22, and then we're in the third octet. Well, if it goes up by 2s, you obviously know you're going to get to like 170, 172. And .0. It is that simple on this one. Because this address belongs to it. Because let's just go real quick and show you something here. Let's go add, going up by 2, which would be .2.0. What are you going to end up with? You're going to end up with 172.22.174.0. Where does the .124 fall in? Right in here. So yes, your correct answer on this particular one for the network ID is 172.22.172.0. That is your network ID. Now, if you get to the point where you'd rather try to do these things manually, just kind of looking at the problem, not going to the videos, I do have a blog where these are actually posted. So I'm going to throw up the address here at the very bottom. You can pause the video. That's unique. It drives me nuts when that happens. So let me roll this back. There we go. Don't know why it does that. I should have caught on. So here is the address. It's SYO-501blogspot.com. On the right-hand side is the links to the problems. Again, if this is helping you, if you like it, please subscribe. Select the subscribe button, tell your friends, kind of push this out a little bit. We're going to try and help as many people as we can, because I know math is not a lot of people's favorite, and subnetting tends to freak people out, right? Have a good day, and thank you for watching.